It's
Welcome,
Monday.
welcome, welcome.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. We're, we're doing things. Oh, you got to turn that down.
Got
But
it?
we are doing things a little different today. Okay. It's Monday. We're doing a special edition because I'll be traveling tomorrow. It did not work well last time we tried to do it when I was in the airport. My earbuds wouldn't work and they couldn't. Yeah, too many people, all the stuff in the background. It was too much going on. So we said we were going to
Let's
do
try
it
something different.
today. Try something different. We're doing it today, and we're going to do Q&A style. Y'all know at least once a month we try to make sure that we dedicate at least an episode to answering your questions, diving into the nitty gritty, itty bitty things that y'all have that you can't ask nowhere else, but you can ask here on the SIP podcast. Okay, so give us just a moment and we're going to get this shared out. Make sure that y'all know that we are here. Then we're going to dive in because we have a list of questions, but also as you come in, because I know there's a slight delay once you click into this, so you'll hear this whenever you join us. As you jump in here, tell us where you are, who you be, how you doing today, what you sipping on, baby boy and baby girl, and
Right.
what burning questions do you have on your mind?
Speaking of burning, we burning hookah tonight. But
Hey, come on
Gypsy
through.
only does tobaccoless, nicotineless hookah. So I will plug my brand, but you know, we don't get endorsements from them. But my
Mm-mm.
brand is Hydro. But yeah, you'll have to look it up though. I ain't gonna tell you how to get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we ain't plugging nobody till we get endorsement money and sponsorships. So figure it out. Figure it
That
out.
board, that board. But yeah. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey boo, what you sipping on? I saw you with a drink over there. I saw you with a drink over there. What you sipping
Lemon
on?
drop, cause it's ladies' night. Every night is ladies' night as far as I'm concerned. Hey.
Mm, 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 mm.
Good evening,
I am
James.
drinking
Welcome,
some
welcome,
water.
welcome.
I'm
Water.
drinking
Oh
some
my
water with
God, how
cinnamon.
boring.
Oh, girl, no, no, no. Needs the water. I got some cinnamon and some water today. Sometimes we got to keep it clean, keep it simple. So that's where we are. Hey, 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 how you doing, James? What you sipping on tonight? How you doing? What burning questions do you want to pop out there for us to answer as we are going live tonight? Share your thoughts. And as you guys are joining us and hopping on here with us, just a couple of housekeeping notes. If you are clicking through from the stream that is on Facebook or a link that we share on Facebook, make sure that you click all the way through so that it takes you out of that little purgatory in between Facebook and YouTube. You got to keep clicking until you're actually fully in YouTube. So that way
Yeah.
you can comment and we can see you and engage with you. Because if you get stuck in that in between, you cannot comment. And we don't know that you're there. We don't get the benefit of you tonight. So make sure, guys,
Right.
if you are not directly on our YouTube video, if you're clicking anywhere else that you got the link, click all the way through so that you are fully in the YouTube app or channel. And that way you can pop into the comments. Next up on the housekeeping list, pop in those comments. We want to know what are your burning questions. What is the thing you've been wanting to ask somebody you ain't had a chance to ask nobody? Or if you ask them, you ain't like they answer. You trying to make sure you get some legit
Right.
information, not some bullshit. Okay. So pop your burning questions and desires in the comments. And this the Sex Intimacy Power Podcast. If it's some fuck shit you own and you be wanting to get into some risque shit, tell us that too so we can talk about it. Okay.
All
James
right.
said, IT person and subscribe. Love it.
Yes.
YouTube on Fire
Love
Stick and
it.
phone. I'm here for this.
Love
That's what
it.
I'm
Love
talking
it.
about,
Love
James.
it.
I am here for the support. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, Gypsy, go ahead and kick us off with that first question so we
So
get this
we
party
are
started.
gonna go into the inbox now. Here's one that I found interesting.
Mm.
Which is more intimate, sex or kissing?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh wow!
That's a good one.
Oh
I
wow!
think personally, it depends on the moment and on the person that you're with, right? I think that in the right moment, man, kissing to have you there at that orgasmic space just as quick as penetration could. If the chemistry is there with that person, if the connection is there with that person, context. And then there are other moments where it's like, fuck kissing, what the D? You know what I'm saying? I think it depends. But they're both good. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I'm about to give you my 2 cents, and you probably ain't gonna like it.
Tell it.
All right. Well, so here it is. Kissing is more intimate than sex.
Mm-hmm.
I detach from sex.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if I kiss you, I'm there.
I get that.
If I do not kiss you, then a means to an end.
I can rock with that. I get that. I've had conversations with men and women who have said that, and I think at one time I probably, operated on the same wavelength. So I get it. For me, I still say it's just context and person. I think that kissing can be just as potent, just as engaging, just as enjoyable. It don't take the place of sex. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I ain't gonna never say that. But I think that the intimacy emotionally and mentally and physically kissing can get you there and build that connection.
Okay, I got something for you.
Yeah.
If kissing wasn't more intimate than sex, why don't prostitutes kiss their johns?
I mean, I'm not a prostitute, so I don't know.
I'm just saying there have been but seriously, there have been studies, and prostitutes actually say they do not kiss their johns because of that. Because sex is a transactional type thing, and kissing is a little bit more than that.
I'm still
kissing is like the eyes to the soul too. Like seriously, like you just I don't know now.
I'm still gonna say it depends on the person because now if I will be honest, because I've had it happen where I was dating somebody years ago and the kissing was trash. Like, oh my God. I never thought I would not date a person because the kissing was bad, but that was an instance where I just had to say, because like slobbing all over my face and my whole face is wet when you done trying to kiss me, that is a turn the fuck off, okay? That'll make the pussy dry up. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't think, me personally, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't think that it's more intimate or not. I think it's time, place, and context in person. So one can be higher than the other in context. And then in the next situation or with the next person, the other may be higher valued or higher rated. But I also think it depends on the person. If the chemistry, I'm with James. He said kissing if the person can kiss plus chemistry is needed. If the chemistry is bomb and I'm really like, I'm gonna want to kiss you, right? I'm gonna want to feel your lips. I'm gonna want to feel that. To me, it's like a complete circuit. If we're engaging intimately and there's penetration and we're kissing, that circuit completes, it actually intensifies the orgasm and the feelings, right? But again, there are moments when you don't want no damn kissing. It's like, let's get to the point. Right? So I don't think it's more intimate. I think, what do you want in that moment? And can that person, can you kiss? Like I've heard a lot of people talk trash about it and then be like, but real talk, I can't kiss. I be wanting them to teach me. How? Where they do that at? Stop. You better get in the mirror and practicing with some YouTube videos. Like, what y'all doing?
Listen, at this big age, I ain't finna teach nobody how to kiss. If you don't know how to kiss and we 50-something years old.
Oh my God. Listen.
Oh, but wait, look what else he said. He said they don't want to get emotionally attached. They just want that moolah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
James, what are you saying? Was he a man or a dog? Right. Yeah, listen. If my whole face got to be wet because you trying to kiss me, that's nope. No. And y'all know what? And let me say this. There has been a moment where I kissed somebody a long time ago and their lips were so soft. It's like they didn't have any. I was like, what's happening? Like I was confused for a minute. My mind couldn't process what was going on. Yeah, it was a lot going on. I can't kiss for shit. James, bless your soul. Listen, bro, I'm gonna need you to pull some YouTube videos out. Hell, watch some porn if you got to, but you gonna need to get something because most women, I ain't saying on the first or the second or hell, even when you first date, but at some point, most women, not all, most women are gonna want to tongue kiss or French kiss. Now, that being said, I have met couples. I have legitimately met couples that didn't tongue or French kiss. They only kissed on the lips, topically, right? So whatever rocks your boat, do the shit. But if you can't kiss, I can't rock with you because that's like a prerequisite.
Yeah. Welcome, Cher.
So, how do y'all feel about
it? I hope so. James. I mean, I'm just saying.
Sure, as you're joining in, anybody that's just now joining us in the comments, we are talking about kissing. Do you feel like kissing is more intimate or on par with the intimacy of physical penetration? What say you? Get in the comments and tell us.
James told us. Come on, Cher. We need to hear from you.
James told us it matters and chemistry matters. What do you think, Cher? Hey, Miss Newsy. How you doing? So while you guys are popping in the comments, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question so we can keep this conversation going, keep this entertainment lively. But
all right,
while you're jumping in, tell us in the comments, is kissing just as intimate, or maybe more or less than physical penetration? Take it away.
All right, so here's the next one. Can you have a healthy relationship if you do not deal with your past trauma?
What? I'm gonna say a big old no. Okay, I'm gonna say a big old no. I feel like so many potential relationships end because people don't take the time to deal with their shit. And then when you're a new person, or the person that you like or that you're trying to get to know does something that resembles what somebody else did, right? It brings up that old pain. Hell, it might bring up the anger because you might be pissed at them for something Jody did, okay? Or something Sheila did, right? So now you want to bust out their windows and be out there acting stupid, or he out there in the bushes, you know what I'm saying, carrying on because somebody hurt you or y'all fighting and carrying on. So yeah, I'm gonna say a resounding yes. If we don't deal with our fuck shit from the past, if we don't forgive, whether we forgive the person who we think hurt us, but if we don't forgive so that we can let go, I think we're destined to keep repeating that same issue, maybe in a different way, but we're destined to keep repeating them same issues and fucking up something good. Because a lot of people missed out on somebody good because, and you might get what you prayed for. We be down here on our knees, oh, sweet baby Jesus in the manger. Lord, please bless me with a good man and let him have good credit, Holy Spirit, and let him be able to eat the coochie and all these things we be begging for. And y'all be praying for Sheila to be able to get down on her knees like a little knob goblin and all this stuff. And then when we get it, we fuck it up because we did not deal with that hurt from the past. Listen, hands down.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Chandrita. Now, before I give my answer, I'm going to read Chandrita's answer.
Yes.
This is everything. It's been so intense, I get lightheaded. This is what I'm talking about. Yes. Knob goblin. Okay, so my answer about the trauma. Yes. Well, one of the reasons my last marriage failed, something happened to Shorty and she didn't want to tell, and I never figured it out. She acted like she was physically sexually abused by her baby daddy. But that's again, exactly. If you don't deal with your trauma, you're going to bring that trauma into your current situationship. But I'm gonna tell you though, I'm finna put a spin on this one.
Hey, come on with it.
There are some people who are addicted to trauma and drama.
And they are.
Because if they're in a normal relationship, they got to stir up some shit because they are not used to something that can flow. They think that if it's no drama, that it's not functioning. And it's like, no, it's a functioning relationship, a healthy one, and this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But if you've never seen one, how can you be in one?
Yeah. Well, I do believe that we can change our narrative, because if we've never seen one growing up, which a lot of us didn't see healthy relationships growing up, right? We saw a lot of fuck shit, bullshit, and trauma. Right. But at some point, we have to have an awareness based on something we've seen somewhere. It may not have been in close proximity in our family or even in our neighborhoods. But hell, most of us saw the damn Huxtables on TV. Okay. Uh-oh.
But I mean, even when you deal with your trauma, or you deal with even in like therapy or whatever, not saying that you haven't seen a healthy, like you, when you go to therapy, you have dealt and seen healthy, where they're telling you what healthy communication looks like, what healthy situations look like. So you have seen it in some way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's so you have seen it. But I'm saying those that never go to therapy, those that have never been exposed to a healthy relationship, and those who think that drama, kicking in doors and fighting every night is damn normal. That shit ain't normal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna expand on that just a little bit. Now, y'all know I'm all about the mental health. Listen, I'm all about the mental health. Everybody's not gonna go to therapy. So I'm just gonna challenge that a little bit. And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. Now, y'all know I love therapy. I'm all about it. Everybody's not going to go to therapy. Some people are going to work with a healing practitioner. Some people are going to work with a shaman. Some people are going to work with a pastor. Some people are going to work with a coach or some type of
all of those mentor. Are therapy.
They're not. And let me tell you why. I want to be very clear and draw a boundary when it comes to what mental health therapeutic type service is and what these other services are. Because a lot of times people will go to them for help needing true mental health support, right? We're talking about something that needs to be diagnosed. We're talking about something that has been plaguing them for a long time. They need somebody that is trained in different disciplines or modalities, behavioral processes in order to support them. They sometimes may even need to be referred to someone else, i.e. a psychiatrist that can or a medical doctor that can prescribe medication, right? That is not the same on this side of the lane if we're working with a shaman or a spiritual healer or a pastor or some type of mentor. Now, the reason I said I'd like to expand on that, because everybody ain't gonna go to therapy. Some people are gonna be over here. I don't think any of it's better than the other, depending on context and what the person needs. Figure out what you need and decide whether it's effective based on the help that you're getting. And if it's not effective, then get help somewhere else. That's why I like to expand on that, right? Because let's just be real. We still in 2024, and though it should not be a stigmatized, therapy is still stigmatized. And some people just ain't gonna take their ass to get help in that direction, right? But wherever you're going to get help, make number one, listen. Don't take marital advice from a person that's been divorced 10 fucking times. Now, I'm not saying they can't give you relationship advice. They truly can tell you what they did wrong, where they went left, and some things they wish they could change. But if you are truly trying to figure out how to have a successful relationship, Go talk to the people that have had successful long-term relationships, 5, 10, 11 years or longer. Go talk to the people that have had a successful marriage. They might have been divorced, but they now have a successful and happy marriage, right? But back to where I was going with that. At the end of the day, we all need help. And even if we didn't grow up, because that's the excuse a lot of us give. Well, I ain't see it growing up. You know, my mama, she was whooping my daddy ass, and my daddy was the whatever, right? Okay, we get that. But all of us probably grew up seeing the Huxtables on TV. And even though they shit was toxic too, we still grew up seeing the Huxtables and thought that was the ideal. So somewhere along the lines, we have seen something positive. And then you need to add on to that, going to therapy. How about read a fucking book? At this point, everybody on YouTube talking about it and breaking it down too. So there's somewhere for us to see the healthy version of what we say that we want. But we got to be willing to put in the effort. And I still say, if we don't do it, yeah, there are those people that like drama. It feeds them. They can't live without it. Life is not right unless they got it. They eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And those are the people I'll be like, 2 fucking fingers and I'm out. Cause
yeah,
who wants to
like Sandrita said, dramaholics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And going back to what James said, like, who knows what your ex-wife was going through, and you know, prayerfully she will get whatever help she feels like she wants to get. You know, we can't force people to do that. But that's exactly it. Going back to what I said earlier, people will fuck up. Now, I don't know if you was a good thing or not, James. I ain't talking about that. But I'm saying in general.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm saying in general.
I need to take a toke on that.
But I'm saying in general, people will fuck up a good thing because we get hurt. And the minute I've done it too, we've all done it. The minute somebody does something that slightly mimics what somebody else did, is like, see, I knew you weren't shit either. I knew you was a gold digger. I knew you was a hoe. I knew you was a nigga. You know, we will label people and judge people based and be wrong all day long. But we are judging and basing our perceptions on our hurt. This is why we gotta get help, y'all. Everybody needs somebody to talk to. Everybody.
Yep. Here's your next one.
Ready? Hey, come on with it.
Navigating life after divorce.
Oh, look at that.
Hey. I'm here to tell you from personal experience.
Woo, okay, come on with it.
It's kind of, I don't know. It depends on how long you've been married.
Yeah.
And like what kind of baggage you're bringing after that divorce, because again, go get some help about that drama that you had after that divorce. But you know, I'm gonna tell you, I celebrate my divorce anniversary every year. Sure do. It's coming up June 13th. I mean, I celebrate, but that's the problem though, because I should not be celebrating the demise of my marriage. However, it was a marriage that I should not have had. And so it's different. So and I was married for 7 years. But it's different. If you are just happy you escaped with just a few scars and scrapes, then navigating life after divorce is probably peaceful. But if you were really in love and you weren't the person that initiated the divorce, or you didn't want the divorce, it might be challenging for you.
I can see that. So on the flip side of that, I initiated my divorce, but I didn't. I left. I knew that I was at a place where I was done, right? I had done everything that I felt like I was willing to do or had the capacity to do to try to fix the issues that we had. And when I felt like we just weren't on the same page and no amount of communication or therapy or anything was going to fix that, I was done. So I left. But I also didn't file. I waited him out to let him file, right? And you know, my circle of people were kind of confused on that, because they were like, you left, but you're not doing anything. And for me, it wasn't about sitting in it or holding on. or, trying to reconcile. It was, you broke us, you pay for this shit. Like, that was the mindset I had. And I knew that I wasn't rushing into anything else. I was solely focused on, okay, what are my next steps to recalibrate my life and start my next phase? That's where my thought was. Now, all intent and purposes, had he waited too long, I probably would have filed just so I could have it over and done with. But I was able to kind of wait him out. And I think about 5-6 months later, he filed. And it was it wasn't easy, but it was easy. I think for me, that was because I made a choice. Because I've had people ask me that watched me navigate it. Like, I didn't leave bitter. I didn't leave angry. I left in peace because I made that decision before I got married. I am marrying you because I love you, right? I'm marrying you with the intention to have a lifetime. But if for whatever reason this doesn't work, my biggest request is that you would leave me in peace or allow me to leave in peace. Wherever we are, whichever one of us chooses to leave in peace. Because if I married you in love, I don't want that to turn to hatred or anything else, right? That doesn't respect what brought us together. So that was my mindset. So even when we were going through the process, now there were times I want to come out my face and say some things or act up a little bit just because of how he was acting. But I always brought myself back to center, remembering I can't control him, but I control me. And I don't have to give another person. Now, that being said, I understand there are some situations where you're going to have to come out your face and deal with certain people. In this particular situation, what he was doing wasn't enough to make me change my character. You get what I'm saying? So I left in peace. It didn't mean it didn't hurt because I did love him, but I still made the choice I needed to make. And I was just more focused on me. How do I move forward? How do I heal so that I can move on to my next whenever that time comes in the most healthy, aligned, easy way possible? And that's the same thing that I tell anybody. Like, it's a choice. I'm not saying it's an easy choice, but it is a choice to decide how you are going to navigate moving forward. It's the same when any major or catastrophic situation happens in life. You can't always choose what happens or when it happens, but you can choose how it happens as you proceed through it. You know what I'm saying?
And some things happen to you and some things happen for you. Because the thing is, while I loved my ex-husband initially, I had started to get to the point of animosity.
I feel you.
And when you start getting to the point of animosity, it's best to remove yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where I was with it. And I can be cordial if we cross paths on the street. But I'm not, I'm not vested. He has no way to contact me. He has no idea where I live because I moved. I moved from the state we lived in. That's just how bad, I moved from the state. Like, I packed my shit and was like, I'm out. But the thing is, we were back and forth for 16 years, and we were back and forth for a reason, because it really should not have been. It really should not have progressed to marriage. But there are sometimes we will hold on to a situation for pride, because we're unwilling to say we made a mistake, because we're unwilling to say we failed.
That's a big one.
So I mean, and my ex-husband asked for alimony. I was finna get insurance. I mean, no, let me stop. Nah, but I'm just saying though, seriously though, it's just there are situations where it's hard to move on. I could see, like, if it's 20, 30 years or whatever, but at the same time, you have to be at a place where you are a whole person, because it's supposed to be the two become one, not two halves make a whole. And And if you're using that other person to complete yourself, then you're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, that's like women having babies, and men do it too. But a lot of women have had babies through the years because they wanted someone to love or someone to love them because they didn't feel it any other way. A lot of women have had babies because they wanted to keep a man. A lot of men, let's put this out here too, have had babies because they wanted to keep a woman or cripple a woman thinking that nobody else would want her.
Right.
So it's the same thing, whether it's those things or going into a relationship. A lot of people get into relationships or have stayed in relationships, whether it's a long-term marriage or whatever, because they wanted to be the one that won, right? I've even seen people that will stay with the person they're with because that person cheated and they were hell-bent and determined that the person they had the affair with couldn't have them. So you gonna stay with a person you don't even halfway ass like.
What did you really win, though, girl? What did you really win? You got the booby prize.
Like, you gonna stay with a person your ass don't even like, so somebody else can have? No. Get somebody else to do it, because what? No. But like I said, I genuinely believe, like, all jokes aside, I believe it's choice. We cannot always choose the pain that we experience. Some things are going to happen no matter how much we try to avoid it. And there are plenty of marriages through good people on both sides who genuinely love each other, that sometimes just where you are in life is just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? But I wholeheartedly believe that we get to decide. Now, again, context is everything, because if it's a dangerous situation or an abusive situation or something just catastrophic happening, it may make you want to come out the side of your face at somebody. But that aside, if it's an everyday normal average, because what is that even? What type of situation? I think we get to decide. We get to decide whether that person has us out there acting a fool, sure, not ask. We get to decide whether that person has so much control over us that we take ourselves out of character because we want to retaliate against them. You know what I understood when I left my ex-husband? My best revenge was always going to be my continued success. That's it for me.
Yep.
Every time I have ended a relationship or had a relationship end, every time I have had a friendship end, every time I have walked away from anything, the one constant that I keep in mind, my best revenge, my best success is always going to keep moving forward and just listen, be me, goddammit, because you no longer had the benefit of me. And I know I'm amazing. I may do some fuck shit every once in a while because we all do, but I'm still amazing. So right. So that's what I thought about.
Right.
And that's what kept me going.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, just to piggyback on that, navigating life after divorce, the other thing is there is a such thing as getting married too young and not growing together.
Yeah, very true.
Together, if one person is growing and the other person is stagnant, you will get to a point where you are out of sync, if that makes sense. And it's not that you don't love them, it's just that you aren't with that person where they are in that point in life. That's what happened with me and Tony. It's like we met when we were 26. And we just weren't at the same place in life. And by the time we got divorced, we got married when we were 41. And yeah, exactly, Sharice. You're not in alignment. Exactly. And that's the thing. Is like you get to that place where you're just not there anymore. And I found myself looking at him in the middle of the night. Listen, I know I watch a lot of Snap, but no, I wasn't like that. I was looking at him in the middle of the night and thinking, I don't really like him as a person.
Feel you on that.
And so when you don't really like that person as a person, because after the sex is done, because listen, let's just keep it real. I mean, especially now that we're in this second phase of life, when you're at the stage where you're no longer able to use sex as leverage, right? Do you like that person as a person? Do you enjoy their company? Do you want to do stuff with them? When I would pull up into the parking deck and I would be like, fuck, he's home. That's a problem.
Been there. Yeah.
Right. And so that is what you need to think about when you're talking about navigating life after divorce. Did you like them as a person? Were you their friend? Could you tell them things as their friend and be their friend first and tell them hard things and have difficult conversations, and you still were cool after the difficult conversations?
I'm gonna add to that. And so okay, so let me back up. So Shandrita, I saw your comment, not comment. Yes, y'all know, we be out here praying, Lord, I want him to eat it like it's dinner. God, I want her to suck it like it's a tangerine, like a pickle, whatever. Y'all know, stop playing. Like, stop playing. Okay. Catching up, if you're coming on now, we have a couple of questions on the table. Hop in the comments and tell us what you think. One, defining intimacy, right? So is kissing just as intimate as penetration, as physical sex? What do you think about that? We're also talking about navigating life after divorce, right? Or even if you haven't been married, navigating life after a long-term relationship breaks up. Because if you've been with somebody 5, 10, 15, 20 years and y'all are no longer, that's a whole fucking marriage that ended, whether you have legal paperwork or not. And then we're also talking about, does past trauma affect your current relationship? So weigh in the comments and share your thoughts with us on this thing. Now, you're muted. I think you're muted.
I love what Sheer just said. Pretending like you don't have trauma will keep you by yourself.
Boom. All of that. And Sharice, you said you both evolved apart while still together. Yes, right? Because we're two individual people. I like the way you put that. We're two individual people. I think our paths are going to intertwine, and we're going to find this intricate way of dancing as we grow into ourselves, because whether we got married younger or started dating younger or older, we still are always evolving and changing. And so we have to find that rhythm. It's like a dance. We have to find that rhythm with the person that we're with. If we can't find that rhythm, it's going to be chaotic and confusing and overwhelming, and we're going to be combative instead of flowing together, right? But let me also throw this out here relating to relationships ending or marriages ending. I think that you can genuinely still love a person and still choose to walk away.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter all the time, and it's not the end all be all the time. Now, I'm with you when you're right, because I have had that moment where I have looked at somebody and be like, I can't stand the fucking sight of you, and it's time for me to go. And hell, they might have felt the same way about me. Who knows?
But wait, Jasmine, I hear what you're saying, because this is what I think you're saying. Here I go. I love you, but I love me more.
And that is where I'm going. Absolutely. Because sometimes we can recognize that no matter how much we love a person, no matter how much the dick may be dickmatizing and the pussy may be pussitizing, you know what I'm saying? There is something that doesn't work, right? Sometimes our dreams are too expansive for the person that loves us and that we love. And some people will choose to downgrade their dream in order to stay with that person, and other people will choose to leave, because though I love you, there's this purpose inside of me, and I'm the vessel that has to birth this out, and I got to go do this thing. So I got to let you go in order to do this thing. Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Because a lot of times folks are preparing for the wedding and not the marriage.
That too.
Because the thing is that when you said fairy tale, that reminded me of how people will put all of this pressure and stuff on each other about the wedding, but they're not really prepared for the marriage. Because after the wedding, then y'all have to be, after everybody goes home, after all the plates are cleared, all the food is eaten, all the presents are put away, then it's just y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't prepare for this one day, but have you prepared for the 364 days after that one day?
Yep. And again, I'm going to play both sides of the fence. Even if you're not married, even if you've just been with this person for a long time, some people are more focused on the picture perfect presentation, right? So I got the guy that's whatever my ideal is, or I got the woman that's whatever my ideal is. And on paper, we look damn good together and we present beautifully in public, right? Because we compliment each other. And at home, we damn near killing each other in our sleep. So again, I'm not going to say, going back to where I was, I'm not going to say that all the time it's because the communication broke down, or it's because that something was genuinely wrong with the person. Sometimes whoever this will make sense for, sometimes we have to leave because that person may love us with everything they got. And we may genuinely love them, but it may not be enough for where we are trying to go. Because even when we love a person, we can still outgrow them, right? Even when we love a person, we can still want more than they want. Example would be if your partner is bad with budgeting and they like to spend all their money and they're okay making 60, 70, maybe 100K a year. You are intent on being a millionaire and building a business that is a legacy for the community and employing people and doing all these things that are far reaching in the community and lasting long after you're gone, right? Now, there are couples that would be able to make that dynamic work. You do what you do, I'm gonna do what we do, and we're gonna find our middle ground. There are other people that have had to say, I love you, but I have to let you go because you don't have the capacity to go here. And because you don't want to go here, I'm not willing to let this go. So I'm going to leave you here in peace and I'm going to go on. There are couples that love each other and have to let go because one wants kids and one doesn't want kids, or one can't have kids and the other one. Like, so I also want to put this out there that sometimes it's not toxicity that makes us leave a relationship. Sometimes it's just the sheer difference in the magnitude of what we need, want, and desire in our lives. And we've had what we were supposed to have with that person. And now it's time to let go. And let me throw this monkey wrench in here. I don't think every marriage is meant to last a lifetime. Now, I know that may be crazy because most people do get married with the intent of a lifetime, but I really don't think that every marriage is meant for a lifetime. Sometimes we are meant to marry that person and they're going to die. Sometimes we are going to get divorced. Sometimes the person is going to cheat, whatever it is. These are the steps that we were supposed to walk together to experience whatever we're here to experience. And then we go on about our business, learning what we have learned and using it as we move forward. I'm going to throw that out there too. Take it as you take
it. Well, sometimes it's because we try to force a square peg into a round hole. And that's why it's not supposed to last for a life, because we're not supposed to be with that person.
I hear you.
Sometimes we try to force a seasonal relationship and make it a annual relationship, and it's not. It's seasonal. Like it was only supposed to be then, you know?
So I'm going to throw this out here. And maybe this, hopefully, this was a crazy example I came up with. Like, I swear to y'all. So I went on this date with this minister one time. Like, one of my besties, his cousin was in town, happened to be a minister. And he was like, he think you cute. You want to go out with him? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Let's do this. Now, in no shape, form, or fashion should I have ever been dating ministers. Like, just not ever in my personality. But here we were, right? So we on this date. And I probably scared the hell out this man with some of the stuff I was asking him and some of the stuff I was telling him, because I was still in ministry at that time, but I was also segueing my way out of ministry, right? So my brain was functioning different at that point. Now, so we in the middle of this date and we're talking about cheating. And what does that look like for, you know, us having to help couples navigate if they come to us for counseling or whatever the case may be? How do you help a couple bounce back from that? And so he shared this example of this couple that he was talking to. They were having some real problems. I said, let me flip this on his head. And he was like, okay. So I gave him the example. What if that husband cheating saved that marriage? He probably thought I had flipped my wig for real, y'all. But I was serious. And I'm going to tell you why. What I said to him was, and this is just a wild scenario. What if that husband or that wife cheating and being with that prostitute or that sex worker and getting pleasure like they had never experienced before, but also having safe space to experiment and explore and work through some things that maybe their spouse wasn't on the same page yet, gave them way to express themselves, tap into a new level of freedom, new level of healing. And what if they took that back because they genuinely love their spouse and they want to be with them? They're getting this on the side, but they want to be with them, right? And what if that helped save that marriage because they were able to take the things that they learned and experimented and how they were expressing themselves differently and better understand their spouse and better communicate with their spouse or try some freaky deaky with their spouse, right? And he was like, wait, what? Girl, this man probably thought I was insane, but it was a legitimate question, right? It was a legitimate question. So I was like, yeah, let's talk this through. So I kept throwing scenarios at him. Now, by the end of this conversation, he was like, you know what? I ain't probably gonna never admit this out loud to nobody, but you might have a point. I was like, see, everything can serve a purpose if we let it. Now, am I saying that's what we need to be out here doing? No, I think if you're cheating, you're an asshole. If you agree to be monogamous, be the fuck monogamous or let that person go or have a conversation to redefine your relationship. Right. But am I also saying that if the opportunity is presented to the spouse and they find out you was doing all of this stuff and they want to work things out with you, is there a way to use that experience and what happened to now navigate forward and use it for good instead of destruction of what you have together? Yes, I think two things can be true. You're wrong as fuck, but you can still use it to move forward. Now, on the opposite side, let me also still throw this back out here. I'm not saying that all marriages aren't meant to last because they came together and they want a good fit. I am specifically saying I think some people are intended to be together, whether it's a marriage or a relationship or whatever you want to call it, because it's all marriage. We're not talking about a legal piece of paper. Anything that is sustained where you made a commitment, right? Anything that is sustained where you made a spiritual commitment or a covenant or a spiritual bond, your ass is fucking married. That being said, I think that sometimes we are meant to come together for such a time as this. We get what we need. They get what they need. We learn, we grow, we push each other into our next level, and then we move on. So all marriages aren't meant to last. That's what I'm saying.
I like what Sheer said, unwarranted soul ties. But you know, let me just throw this out here. I'm not poly, but I have been approached by people that say they are, right? But you know what I ask him whenever they say they poly? Does your wife know you poly? I'm just saying, is everybody in agreement that y'all poly?
Yeah. So I saw this breakdown on Facebook. This lady said she asked this man, they was on a date. She asked him before the date, you married? He was like, no. She said, you got a girlfriend? He was like, nah. So they go on a date. In the middle of the date, somebody's calling him. And she was like, okay, this number keeps popping up and you keep pushing your phone. Like, what's that? Oh, that's that chick that lived with me. What?
What chick she was like, lived with you?
She was like, wait a minute, is y'all fucking? And he was like, yeah. But I asked you, was we married? We ain't married. She said, but I asked you if you had a girlfriend. She ain't my girlfriend either. We just fucking. Oh, no. Listen, for people that want to get around, they're going to figure out a way to get around. Okay, those are the people you just got to ask your questions, peep them out, and leave their ass in the fucking dust. So I like what you said. Does your wife know you poly? But before we move on, let me ask you a question, sure, about you said unwarranted soul ties. Yes. Dive a little bit deeper and tell us what you mean by that, because soul ties mean different things to different people, right? So what is it that you mean by that?
Polyurethane. He's stupid. He like poly.
All right, James. Let me go back up here so we can catch up on these comments. Cherie said, yes, past trauma can cause PTSD, relationship issues on your present and your future relationships if the person has not sought counseling to mentally and emotionally heal. Absolutely. We all need a safe place, safe person, safe group, etc., to work through our shit. No human being is a silo and meant to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? But this is why we have to keep having these type of conversations, because sometimes we are so fucked up, we don't even know we need help until we see it reflected from people that we value. And that may not be in a therapeutic setting to start off with all the time, right? So I'm a big fan of having these type of community-based conversations and having good friends in our life that we can be vulnerable and naked with, and they can be like, you fucking up, get it together, do better.
Look, I like what Chandrita said. I agree with Gypsy. The real work starts when you take the dress off. But isn't that what little girls are taught? I dreamed about my wedding day for years. Absolutely, absolutely, Chandrina. The thing is they talk to women about being married and getting married. They don't talk to women about the stuff that happens after the wedding.
Devil's advocate. How accountable are we to that?
Every chance he get, he embarrass her in front of them. What? See, now that's a oh.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
He got the right one, sure. He got the right one.
I believe that. I believe people know who they can fuck around with.
Exactly. He know who he can fuck around with.
Now, going back to let's catch up on the comments. Cherie said some people have past relation triggers. Yeah, so we talked about that a little bit ago. Like, you can be done moved on with whoever. Stacy or David is your bestie, baby. You love everything about them. They the best thing since sliced bread. But as soon as they do something that is fairly reminiscent of the person in the past that pissed you off or hurt your feelings, and all of a sudden Stacy and David is just like them motherfuckers, right? This is why we have to heal. This is why we have to challenge ourselves. But listen, we also have to challenge the people that we love, because y'all know y'all friends be on some bullshit. We all got that one brother we love, like, you know, that's my bro, and he be on some fuck shit. He out here like a whole fuck boy, and ain't nobody telling him. We have a responsibility to one another as community and as loved ones to tell the people that we love when they not doing right. That don't mean they gonna listen, but we should at least,
That triggered a question when you said that.
Okay, what's the question?
Can you have uncomfortable conversations with people in your circle? And if not, why are they in your circle?
That's a good one. Okay. Y'all know, if you don't watch any of our past episodes, I'm always hollering about have the conversations. That being said, let's be real. Sometimes those conversations are hard and uncomfortable, but I'm a big fan of do it uncomfortably. I might cry. I might get upset. I might be pissed the fuck off. But if I respect you and if I value you, I'm still going to woman up and sit down in that discomfort to have whatever conversation needs to be had. You might have to hold my motherfucking hand, but I'm still going to have the conversation, right? But this goes back to intimacy. Intimacy is not just physical penetration or even sex or even standalone to relationships romantically. Intimacy is connection. I think at its most simplistic form, that's all intimacy is connection. So being able to have uncomfortable conversations also goes back to that. I done had several guy friends. I'm like, you a whole fuck boy, you need to do better. Jay, you wrong. No, I heard you. I saw what you just. You wrong.
You wrong. Right.
You wrong. And I tell my girlfriends the same way when they come to me. Jay, what you think about such and such? Because he said and he did. Didn't I said and I did? Girl, you wrong as hell. You need to go back and apologize. And I expect the people that I love to hold me with that same level of accountability. If I know some fuck shit, then I expect you to love me and tell me. Don't mean I'm gonna listen, but at least be man enough or woman enough to tell me and call me on my shit so that I have the opportunity to do better. We owe that to one another. This is why so many people out there mess the hell up now.
That's what true friends are. Because the foundation of every relationship should be a friendship. And if you can't be a friend to that person and want that person to do better and to be better, then why is that person in your life? Get the hell on.
Absolutely. Sharice, you said interesting. What were you responding interesting to? Do tell.
Yes,
James. Oh, Lord. James said, Law, I dated a pastor. It wasn't gonna work. She was being celibate, and my mom was Muslim. Oxy fucking moron, if there ever was. Hey, you got to know where your boundaries lie, right? If you know you're trying to get the good, being with somebody that's celibate ain't where it's at. I feel you.
I love you for knowing that. Followed up and said, it wasn't until I got married that I truly learned what it means to be in the partnership of marriage. My husband is my friend, and we really enjoy each other. not always a bed of roses, but I'm dedicated. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, you know, and the other thing is you should be praising in public and chastising in private. Yeah, he might be wrong, but don't tell him in front of his friend. Like when Sheer said that this woman is with a man that embarrasses her in front of folks. Oh, hell no. Where they do that at? I don't play those games. Like no. I do not get down like that. But at the same time, you need to be with somebody that you know that, hey, okay, listen, we are not getting, you know, we're not in agreement right now, but I'm not going to disagree with you in front of these folks. I disagree with you in the car.
Sure, I'm curious because you said in front of us, so that means y'all are hanging out. Are you his friend or her friend? Who did you know first? And if you had that relationship with either one of them, have you or anybody else in that friend group pulled them to the side? See, I am a fan of having uncomfortable conversations, whether it's in my relationship with the person I'm with, whether it's my friends, whether it's whoever. I may not want to. It may feel painful. It may feel uncomfortable. I may shed some whole big girl tears. You may have to hold my hand and walk me, but we are going to have conversation, right? And part of that conversation sometimes is having the ability to communicate when people are just doing wrong, foul shit. Right. And embarrassing somebody in front of me, I don't have no respect for you or them at that point. So I'm gonna pull whichever one is my friend to this. Now they may not like me after, but I'm gonna speak my piece and tell you where I stand with it because I don't want to be a part of it, right? So if my friend is the one who's doing the embarrassing, that's the opportunity. This is just me for me to take them to the side and be like, hey, bro, you know you dead ass wrong for that. That's embarrassing. I'd be mad as hell if you treated me like that in front of somebody. If the girl is my friend, listen, baby, I love you enough that I don't want to idly sit by while some rando disrespects you in front of the people that love you. Because if they're doing it in front of the people that love you, what the fuck are they doing in front of strangers? And what are they doing behind closed doors at home? Are you safe? Blink if you need help, right? Do you need to come stay with me? Like, that's the kind of conversation I'm going to be having. And I know that depending on your relationship with those people, that may not feel feasible, but that's me if it's a personal relationship that I have with either one. Because if I got to sit by and watch it, now I feel complicit with it and I'm not okay with it. Right. I don't like bullies and I never like seeing people mistreated. So especially if I have a connection to either one, to me, that's an opportunity for communication and correction. Now, if they choose after you done said what you done said to still act like fools, now y'all lose the benefit of my company because I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to witness it and I don't want to play them fuck shit games. You know what I'm saying? Because here's where I go with this. I'm a big believer that whatever you feel comfortable doing to one, you're likely going to do it to the other. And if you are uncomfortable disrespecting your woman in front of me, at some point you're going to feel comfortable disrespecting me. We're going to really have some problems then because I'm going to be upside your motherfucking head. So I feel like to mitigate those type of situations, have a conversation on where your boundaries lie. And either this is a behavior that I don't feel is appropriate and I don't want to be included in this, or hey, you know this is wrong. Again, that's just my two thoughts on that. And I may be thinking in the extreme, but that's kind of how I view that.
You're right. That's how I view it. Because the thing is if a person will talk about someone in front of you, they'll talk about you in front of other people.
Boop.
That part. Okay. So, and yeah, boop. We're not even finna play those games because, honey, let me tell you something. You about to get your feelings hurt over here. You gonna get your feelings hurt, and you might even get your some part of your body hurt too. So, how to handle a long distance relationship?
Oh, that's a good one. Hold on 1 second. Let's catch up on these comments. I'm sure if you're still with us, go back and expound on what you meant by unwarranted soul ties. What were you talking about then? Because soul ties mean
I think that's what she was talking about.
With the lady with the guy. See, that's what I was trying to figure out, but I'm not sure. So
because that's the thing is when I do know that with me, when you have a soul tie, sometimes you just can't shake that person. Like even when they mistreating you, you know, you You just can't let them go. They mistreat you, you still there. You like they damn lapdog. You letting them still mistreat you because for whatever reason you can't let them go.
Sometimes that's a soul tie.
Yes.
And sometimes that's just damn low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and lack of self-love. Let's call that too. Sometimes it ain't that spiritual. Sometimes it's natural.
Oh, ouch. Wait, what Sharice said might pull that up. I would sometimes pick up on my boyfriend's energy too.
Explain that, Sharice. What are you talking about?
The soul tie.
I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, Sharice, if you hearing us, pop in there and tell us what you were meaning. Let me go back to your other comment too. Sharice, you said your angle. Oh, okay, when you were saying that's interesting. Your angle regarding how a man can save his marriage by cheating. Yeah, so for those of you that are just coming on, let me make sure I explain that, because if you don't watch the replay, you're going to be like, she's out here condoning cheating. I am not. I still feel like you on some fuck shit if you cheat. If you decided to be monogamous, then own that shit and be monogamous until you have a conversation to change the dynamic of that relationship. But make sure you go back and catch the replay so you can see my explanation a few minutes ago of how I turned that topic on its head with a minister years ago of how could a cheating partner maybe use cheating to actually save their marriage. So that's a whole conversation for a different episode. But Sharice, what are you meaning when you said I would sometimes pick up on my boyfriend's energy too? You said yes. So are you talking about the soul ties, or what are you talking about? And then sure, you said, I have done that. I have loved that man to the next universe and back. He did not love me the same way. No need for me to pretend otherwise or die inside. Move on. That right there. Sometimes it ain't a soul tie, baby. Sometimes it's lack of self-love. We love the other person more than we love ourselves. Sometimes it is lack of confidence. Sometimes it is no boundaries, because too many of us have grown up without healthy examples of what boundaries are and how to implement them.
And then when we learn about boundaries and we try to establish them, if you try to establish them after that person has come into your life and you have not shown them boundaries, then they be like, what the fuck is this?
Like, it's harder. Yeah.
Offense.
That's all of that. Or Mary had a little lamb. What was the question you were about to ask on the list, Gypsy?
The question I was about to ask on the list is, how do you handle a long distance relationship?
That's a good question.
Well, I was in the Navy, and I had one while I was in the Navy. I had an East Coast, West Coast one. Because like while I was stationed in Norfolk, he was in Philly, and it was cool. We was, on the same coast. I could go up on the weekends. He could come down on the weekends. But when I got stationed in California, that was a whole different thing. And we was broke too. We was lowly, enlisted. And it was like, I was like E4. Yeah, it was, you can't get no cross-country tickets as an E4 pretty cheap. And there was no hop. You couldn't do no military hop because you might not get back. So it was challenging. We did phone calls, and this was back before the internet days, before FaceTime, before all of that. So it was challenging, and obviously I'm not still with him, so no, it didn't work. We were young. We're still friends to this day. We're still friends. But that's because we were truly friends first. We met when we were 19. So it was a true friendship. And here we are. It's like over 30 years later, and we're still friends. So, but will we ever get back together? Oh no. We like what Sharice was saying earlier, we grew in different directions, right? We grew in different directions. Like it can work, but these days with the technology and stuff, it's possible. It is more possible than it was 30 years ago. Think about it. I mean, we were using letters and long distance phone calls and, calling cards and those kind of things. So it was a little bit more challenging and a little bit more expensive. It just all depends on communication, communication styles, whether or not you are going to be willing to sacrifice and make trips. When I was, that's the other thing is I was dating when I was up here and somebody was in Atlanta, and I was back and forth to Atlanta, but I also was in the industry, so I was back and forth to Atlanta anyway on a regular basis. So yeah, it worked because I was already going back and forth to Atlanta. But it worked till it didn't work. Again, you have to be willing to sacrifice, and you have to be willing to compromise, and somebody can't be the one doing all the giving and all the traveling and all that kind of thing. That's not gonna work. But it also depends on what stage you are in life. If you're young, okay, I'm gonna say something that's not so popular, but if you're young, get the fuck on. Find somebody else. Because, like, seriously, because when you're young, you kind of may put all your eggs in one basket, and yeah, it's just different. Don't waste your youth on bullshit. I wasted my youth on bullshit. There's a lot of stuff I should have probably cut off that I didn't. But when you're older, after you've done some things and you've been some places and stuff, and you want to explore a long distance relationship, you also will have a different financial standing. Like, there's a show that's on right now on OWN. I don't know if you've seen it. And Never Ever Met or Never Ever Met or whatever. And these are all people that are in internet relationships. Some of them, one of them is 12 years.
Oh wow.
And had never met him until they all came together to live in this house for three weeks. And
oh wow.
And the thing about that is that I just think that you should not be wasting your youth on that kind of thing. Because if you're not in a financial state where you can travel and do that kind of thing and put in the money and the resources that it takes to maintain a relationship not in the same city, find somebody else. Get somebody else to do it.
So y'all know I like to jump on the other side of things, and I'm going to share my thought, and then I'm going to hop into the comments. Now, I've never been a big fan of long distance relationships in my younger years. And that was because I just didn't want to be bothered with them. There was no right or wrong. I didn't think they were wrong. I just didn't want to be bothered with them. It does take a lot of emotional connection and intimacy to make up for the lack of physical touch and intimacy that you get to have with that person consistently, right? And I just didn't feel like I was in a space where I had that much to give emotionally, mentally, and energetically back then. I don't know if I had those words for it, but I just knew it wasn't the right fit for me. As I have grown older and I've learned more about what my needs are, how I feel, how I want to engage with people, I think I have a different level of respect for long distance relationships. Now, that being said, yes, if I were to be in a long distance relationship now, it would be based on what is the financial status of me and that person. Because though I don't want to be in nobody's face every day, 24/7, I do value quality time with the person that I love, right? Or choose to be with. And so I know that would have to be a huge part of it. How can we consistently make this work? Are we flying to in between cities? Am I flying there sometimes? Are you flying here sometimes? How are we making this work on a regular basis so that we have physical quality time? And that's not even all about fucking. That's about touch. Can we hug each other? Can we kiss? Can we cuddle? Can we fall asleep tonight and wake up in the morning? Can we go participate in activities together so that we can build memories that sustain us when we are not together? And in the interim, yes, digital age has made that easier with the phone calls, with the video camera, Skyping, video conferencing, all the things that we can do to stay connected to one another, right? So I'm a big fan of figure out what works for you and do that. Where you were saying don't waste your time on it, I think that is very true for the person. Like, if you know that part of your major love language is touch, A long distance relationship is probably not going to make sense for you if you and your partner are not in a financial status where you can make that work, either hopping on a plane or if you're not close enough to make driving make sense, right? But again, I like to be on the other side of things. So that being said, there are people that long distance relationships are perfect for because they don't want to see you regularly. They don't want to have sex with you regularly. They don't want to be bothered with anybody that consistently, right? Regularly. Right. They might be out there wanting to be fucking with themselves and see you every once in a while. They may be wanting to live their best life, but also know that they have their person. So I advocate for understanding what your needs are. This is why I love the idea of married couples staying in different houses. Whether you live next door to each other, in the same neighborhood, in a different neighborhood, down the block, in a neighboring city, or in another state, or in another country. I'm a big fan of that, because everybody's not meant to be in the same household. Different space needs, different energetic needs, emotional needs, time constraints, sleeping patterns. Like if your husband is a whole bear in the bed and he calling cows and hogs and everything else, or your wife is, you may not never get no sleep, right? So a long distance relationship or living in a different house may be perfect. I see your ass every Sunday, and the other 6 days a week I get a good night's sleep. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're nasty and they don't like to clean, and your standards, they just can't meet them, baby. You understand? Right. So I advocate for figuring out what your needs are and then looking for and identifying a partner that can meet you in that middle ground, because there's no one way to be married. That's why I think back in the old days, a lot of people are bringing that thing back where even if you stay in the same house, y'all sleeping in different bedrooms and different beds. Because listen, folks like they space. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And we're gonna hop back into these comments, okay? Sharice said, what I meant by energy is that I would pick up on what he said, how he said what he said, how he treated me, etc., like an animal in the wild, sensing if in their environment. Yeah. Yep. All of that. Sometimes a person's expression, verbal and nonverbal, can give you cues on how they feel versus. Because listen, I am convinced some of these folks don't really like y'all. They fucking you. They getting the benefit of being with you, or you getting the benefit of being with them. Y'all don't really like each other.
That part.
James said 30 years ago, long distance calls were challenging financially. These kids have it so good. Video calls, free long distance, unlimited minutes. Man, because who remembers when we had to wait till 9 o'clock for the minutes to be free?
That part.
Okay. Unlimited text and unlimited mail and cam. All of that, James. All of that. Camera phones, no more taking Polaroids and mailing them, because what? But I still don't like long distance relationships. I did one. She was in Richmond. Never again. All right, then.
Richmond isn't really long distance.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where you at, James. So I don't know.
Long distance to me is like a half a day's drive or something. Like not, like 7-8 hours. That's long distance to me. Something that's under 4 hours, that ain't long distance.
I think it depends, because it could, real life example I had, it was only like a 5-6 hour drive, but it was tedious because of things that person had going on. It was tedious because of things I had going on. So even though they were great and I wanted to give it a true shot, it just didn't work, right? And so I think you have to define, because for some people 2 hours might be long distance. Like, listen, if you ain't living in the same city and I can't get to you within 30 minutes or an hour, it ain't working. And then other people may be willing to hop on a plane every 2 weeks to go see their person.
If you live in Atlanta, DC, or Philly, or New York, 2 hours is local.
I hear you.
Man, the traffic is terrible.
Traffic is terrible. Sure said that is normally why the spouse cheats, outside of being a callous tool. Why they cheating? What was we saying, Sure? Why do they normally cheat?
Right. Why they cheat?
Yeah, why they normally cheat. Sure said soul ties was from an earlier conversation dealing with being with someone at the wrong time or cannot leave. Okay. Or cannot leave a toxic relationship. Yes. Love one together.
Oh, she mean live alone together. That's what she said. I meant
live alone. Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's like the best of both worlds, depending on your personality, depending on your emotional capacity, your energetic needs, jobs, all of that kind of stuff. I think it's an amazing opportunity when couples are brave enough to say, we don't have to make this one dynamic work. And we can live together in the same house and be in separate bedrooms, or in the same bedroom in separate beds, or we both want our own household and maybe we go back and forth between each other's households as time dictates and needs dictate. I am a big fan of people making it make sense for them, instead of ending because they tried to make it make sense for everybody else.
Damn everybody else, because y'all the only one in the relationship.
Listen, okay.
And I mean, and so, the thing is that, I jest when I talk about a long distance relationship, but to me, anybody that lives like Bowie, Silver Spring, Baltimore, all that shit is long distance to me, because that shit is far. Like, I gotta get in my car and I gotta be in there longer than 20 minutes. That's far. And that's long distance, because I don't like traffic. I'm at an age and a stage. I don't like traffic. I don't like none of that stuff. But I'm also an introvert, and I don't want to be bothered every day. So
I get that.
That's perfect.
See, that's why I'm like, there's no right or wrong. It's literally about what makes sense for the two of us based on how we feel, what we need, and what we are trying to accomplish together. But I think so many people change and they go along to get along in order for other people to be okay, whether it's parents, family members, friends, community, society, job, whatever. And we end up losing out on a good relationship with a good person because we're trying to make it fit everybody else's needs and expectations instead of our own. And so, again, we have to be brave enough. Going back to the question we talked about earlier, can we have uncomfortable conversations? I mean, when I say I mean that shit to my heart and soul, if I gotta cry and you gotta hold my hand, I'm still gonna stand up like a big girl and be like, listen, okay, let's talk through it. If it's gotta hurt my feelings or I'm pissed, if I care about you or it's something we really need to talk about, I'm gonna work my way through it. Maybe uncomfortable as hell, might be mad at you for making me talk about it, but I'm gonna get over it and respect the fact that we had that conversation. And I think more of us have to acknowledge that, because we will end whole relationships because we don't want to talk about a thing. Going back to something James said earlier, he thought his ex-wife had been through some things that she never divulged, and it was a part of their demise, right? So a lot of the times we will miss out on a good thing with a good person, or it ends before it was supposed to, or it ends and it didn't have to, because we don't have conversations. And we jump into shit we ain't got no business in with people we ain't got no business being with, because we didn't have conversations that we should have. Or let me throw this out there. Hold on one second. Or let me throw this out there. That bullshit that everybody be trying to throw out here. You don't talk about this on the first date, and don't talk about this to the third date. You don't. The fuck, man. We grown. We grown.
Listen, I got more years behind me than I got in front of me. Let me find out if you're wasting my time a little bit earlier in this shit.
See, I really feel like if we had more conversation, we could avoid being with the wrong people sometimes. But because we're so pressured to not talk about things, we don't want to scare them. If something I'm asking you is scaring you, you have now highlighted the fact that we are not a good fit. Thank you for that. If something you were asking me is scaring me or pushing me away or making me uncomfortable, you have now highlighted the fact that I'm not a good fit for you. Thank you for that. I think we should be having more upfront conversations. Now, I ain't saying you got to be planning your wedding on the first date, but asking a person, do they have motherfucking kids before you go on the first date? Yes. Asking a person if they want to have kids before you go on the first date? Yes. Because if they are hell-bent, die hard, they know they want to have kids and you don't, why are you wasting each other's time? If you know you want to get married and they don't.
Asking them if somebody is somewhere thinking that they in some sort of relationship with you, let me know. You need to know right quick.
Do you have a wife, girlfriend, fuck buddy, side chick, cheater, a knob goblin? Do you have a boyfriend, a husband, a man, a boo thing? Anybody in this sphere of evolution that thinks that you in part belong to them, that you're connected to them, that y'all is teammates, that y'all is partners, or any other variation of that thought process.
Will she run up on me if she see me? I need to know this. Will she run up on me? Right?
Boom.
Like that part. Hello.
Hello, Dana. You said extrovert, introvert when I was younger. I'm almost complete opposite now. So you were extroverted when you were younger, but still introverted at the same time. Break that down a little bit more for me, Dana. What were you trying to say? And then James, you said, I talked with the person I'm currently talking to for like 2 hours at a breakfast first day. See, listen, I truly believe if we had more conversation that was intentional, what kind of positions do you like? Nigga, are you clean? How often do you do your laundry? When's the last time you changed your sheets? Like, do you talk, do you, right? Or what's the relationship with your children's mother? Do you like your mama? Was your dad in your life growing up? Men, you can't just bust out and ask this question, but there's a way to work it into the conversation. But asking the woman that you're interested in, has there been any abuse physically or emotionally or sexually in her life? Because you have to be prepared to navigate that. She has to be able to disclose that with you as well. Again, you don't just bust that out on the first date, but that is a conversation that more of us need to be willing to ask and have as well. Sure, you said, I met her first. I met her first, then him, but he was talking to other people we knew, and it got out, I guess. She is staying for the money. He worked at a great place and is a veteran. You know what? I let people take the ass whoopings they want to take, and I choose not to be a part of it. Because if she knows all of this and she's still choosing to stay, not my monkey, not my circus, I'm not going to help wrangle it, and I'm also choosing not to be a part of it. See what I'm saying? Once I know that you know and you're making an adult choice to stay in it, now I'm gonna see myself up out that conversation and leave A and B to it. That's all there is.
Right. And they have children. Girl.
She made up her mind to stay.
Children are not a reason to stay with somebody.
Nope. She made up her mind to stay. Several people have pulled her coattail and his too, and they have several children. We just leave them be. Listen, and I would leave them be in their corner, but what I ain't gonna do is participate in it. Meaning they would no longer have the benefit of my time. Because I don't know about y'all. It's not comfortable for me to sit and watch people fight. Now, unless I'm watching some reality TV for the whole point of I just want to laugh. That's not how I prefer to spend my time.
And I don't even watch that anymore. Like I used to watch Bad Girls Club and stuff like that. I used to get a rise out of, like, I guess I was addicted to drama. I was addicted to drama at one time where I liked watching that kind of stuff, right? It was fascinating to me. But I've gotten to the point where that's not fascinating to me anymore. I don't want to see that. I don't want to. If you got all that shit going on, keep it over there. Because I just I don't.
That's why I said unless I'm specifically looking up something crazy because I want to laugh, I don't want to spend my time with that in person because it makes me uncomfortable. I choose not to willingly be uncomfortable with people I choose to spend my time with, right? So again, that's a personal boundary. We have to figure out how we feel and who means, what to us. Dana, I enjoy my peace and my space. I can be home all day and love it. Younger me had to be on the go. Youth is youth. I enjoy going out. However, I can't wait to get home. Vacations excluded.
Okay. Got it. So she's more introverted now. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I could spend all day just in my own company. And that's the thing. If you don't like your company, why the hell should anybody else?
That.
Like on the real, like if you can't stand being by yourself, then why should anybody else want to be bothered with you?
That.
And
all that.
And I was thinking about what Sheer said. A lot of people are not single, but they're not really coupled either. They're just with somebody because they need somewhere to stay.
Ooh. Well.
So you're not in a relationship, you got a roommate. Or you're not in a relationship, you a hostage. I'm just saying.
Listen, so with that being said, I'm an advocate for grown people doing grown people shit. And like I said, I believe in having uncomfortable conversations. They are not always easy. And me, like anybody else, will do my damnedest sometimes to avoid them because they're not easy. But if I love you, if I respect you, if I honor you, whether you're my man, whether you're my friend, whether you are whoever, then That means sometimes I get called on the carpet. No, we're going to have this conversation. All right, let's have it and let's navigate it. That means sometimes I got to be the one calling somebody on the carpet, have this conversation. All right, let's have it. But I think that is a big test of how much you really value and how much you really honor someone. Are you willing to sit down with them and have that uncomfortable conversation? Are you willing
and they
to
may
call
be
them
mad
out
at you?
They may be mad.
They may
if
be
it's
mad.
genuine, y'all will get through it, right? But also, are you willing to call them out when, like I said, we've all had them friends. We know they be on some fuck shit. Are you, as their friend and the person that love them, willing to call them out? Like when I've had girlfriends that be out there doing stupid shit, you foul.
Right.
And what you do out there, I can't control it. Don't talk to me about it here because I don't want to be complicit in it. I don't want to be part of it. So if you're going to do it by your damn self and keep the shit to yourself. If you want help to turn that boat and do the right thing or be a better version of yourself, I got you all day. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. Because again, what we give our time and energy to affects how we engage with life. So I'm not trying to be surrounded by people that are doing dumb shit all the time or that are doing things that take them out of integrity, because I want to stay within my integrity. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay within my power to be the best version of me. So I think that's a large part of how we engage in relationships with others. Dana said, preach. And Sher said, cutting, that means self-discipline.
Yeah, like cutting back. Yeah, cutting back. You can be laying with a demon and now you have to exchange energy and they last a while. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, circling back to soul ties. Soul ties can happen from being intimate. Yes, not the only way, but absolutely yes, through being intimate. You can be laying down with a demon and now you two have exchanged energy and that lasts. Okay, I know how I like to throw riptides out there every once in a while. So I'm gonna throw this out there. We can leave this here and talk about this on the next episode because we're about to hit that time. All I'm gonna say is this. I want you to challenge yourself and ask yourself, what is a demon really? What is a demon really? Because I think a lot of us may be operating with a limited capacity or understanding of what that word really means and who or what really is a demon and whether they are in fact good, bad, evil, or nefarious, or malicious, or malevolent, or benevolent, or whatever. And I'm going to challenge this too. What is it that y'all really think a soul tie is? Because absolutely, yes, we can have a soul tie happen by having sex with someone. But we can have a soul tie simply by engaging in ongoing communication with a person, because all a soul tie is an agreement between souls. And there are so many ways that we can come into agreement, right? So this is why I like having these conversations, because the more we challenge ourselves to get deeper into the more we challenge ourselves to get deeper into what we understand or believe and what the people around us understand and believe, the easier it is to experience the positive changes that we want, but also pull out the bullshit that we don't, so that we can make those changes. So what do y'all think a demon is? I'm gonna have to put this somewhere so I can remember to bring it up next week. What do y'all think a demon is? In the chat. Boom, boom, boom. What do y'all think a demon is? Is it good, bad, nefarious, malevolent, benevolent, other? And what do you think a soul tie is? Because, having sex and getting that ooey gooey, sticky, icky, good is a dag sure way to get it. But there are plenty of other ways to have soul ties embedded. And we can have multiple soul ties with multiple people.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because it might be your soul tie with your grandparent that's stopping you from enjoying your new man, and it might be your soul tie with your grandmama. And that ain't mean that y'all was doing some stupid shit with them, but that means how they were loving you, how they raised you, how they poured into you, the agreement that your soul came into with them to stay in trauma and toxic bonding, because that's what they do. Could also be the soul tie that you're operating with in your relationship. You feel what I'm saying? I know. So we're going to end it right there, y'all. Okay, what I'm going to ask y'all to do before we end, make sure that you're clicking that like button on this video, making sure that you're clicking that share button on this video. Share. Make sure that you're clicking that link so that you can grab the link and share it out, because the more y'all talk about it, the more you help us reach more people. And we are really out here trying to make a positive difference in relationships and in our community with the SIP podcast. Lastly, make sure that you're hitting that subscribe subscribe button so that you'll get notified when we are going live. Normally we do go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. But today we did the special edition because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. And we just missed y'all faces and wanted to make sure we had some time with y'all. All right. Because we working on that thing called
So we'll be back at our regular bat time and our regular bat channel next week.
All right. Anything going on in your world that you want to make sure you tell them about before we bring this to an end, boo thing?
No, just make sure you hit us up in the inboxes. Make sure you hit us up in chats. Let us know what it is what are burning questions you have. We will try to get next week's topic out by Saturday so that you guys could think about it. So you could, have all your little questions ready for us. We'll let you know exactly what's going to be the topic of discussion next Tuesday.
I am going to throw this reminder. I'm going to throw this reminder out there for Benny, one of our other co-hosts. Y'all know he has the comedy shows coming up all the time. So if you have not, make sure that you go to, I think, oh God, don't quote me, y'all, but I think it's BennyMac205.com. BennyMac205.com. Make sure you go check out that link, all his sites, all his comedy tour dates, and the different things that he has in the Beeham area and surrounding locations will be there. Make sure that you catch up with him if you have not seen him, because as he likes to say, y'all, he will bring you a little funny for a little money. And if you have not done so, make sure you go to IamHealing1.org and check us out. We are a private practice focusing on wellness and a little mental health in there every once in a while too. And we are truly focused on helping you to thrive, to find your sweet space in life. We're working a little bit here and there with, relationship things and having uncomfortable conversations and all of that. So with that, we love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Donna. We always do our best. And we will see y'all. Yes, thank y'all for joining us. Keep the comments going. If you are coming back, if you're late, if you're catching the replay, keep popping your thoughts into the comments and tell us what you're thinking so we can keep engaging with you all. And until then, friends, we'll see y'all next week, Tuesday.